Peace Collective. Today we are talking about a remastered mind. All right, this is the message, and I'm channeling this message with Archangel Uriel. And let's see what we got today for the collectives. Okay, Archangel Uriel. What do we have? Oh, okay, I love that. All right, so the first cards that came out were the stepping stones. A lot of people want to ultimately change their way of thinking, their way of doing things. And we try to get to a particular destination overnight. I can tell you that for me, it's been a process of taking small steps. And ultimately, when you look back at the process of the small steps that we're taking, you realize that you are far beyond your starting point. This is where you are showing up for yourself in the capacity that you have to show up for yourself in any given day. You strive to be the best version of yourself. I think a lot of people in this journey want to reach the destination. And I know I did for myself. I wanted to reach the destination in seconds. Okay, and not literally seconds, but maybe months, weeks. And I kept getting frustrated based off of the fact that I was not reaching the destination. You see, the point is that when you are showing up for yourself and you are showing up for yourself unapologetically, you are working with spirit to access your higher roads. In accessing your higher roads, you have to make sure that you are clearing out all the degradation, that you are pouring light into the darkness on a continual basis. Okay? And this is where you keep moving forward despite what the road looks like. You learn to surrender control. You learn to give into peace. You learn to shed your tears. You learn to allow the tears to cleanse your wounds so now the wounds can close and heal actively. And in repairing those wounds, you are no longer operating from a standpoint of cycles that are keeping you trapped in disempowered states. You are learning to listen to your heart, the beckoning of your heart. This is where your heart is now leading the way, where now your heart light can turn on. This isn't a process that happens overnight. When we are talking about remastering the mind, a remastered mind, we are also talking about the heart healing from its wounds and believing what is possible, right? Moving out of the state of limiting beliefs into the dreams of the inner child and working on the mind where we are no longer allowing the mind to dictate our positioning based off of its conditioning and the hurt that you've experienced in this life. Reaching a state of a remastered mind is possible, but it's not going to happen overnight. And the more that you heal, the more that your heart continues to grow. And in it growing, it starts to glow with the essence and the light of the divine. Let's see what else we have. What else, Archangel Uriel? Oh, not all those cards. Bear with me, y'all. Oh, oh. All right. So we have the crow, and I feel for the crow to come out is memories. And memories is actually important to realize that the memories and the experiences that we've gone through in life actively shape our day-to-day experience. And in the aspect of a remastered mind, those memories no longer keep you trapped and bound to a lower vibrational outcome in your life. If anything, you use them as fuel, you use them as opportunities to exercise your discernment and create new pathways. You sit here and say, you know what? I know this energy. I know that when I got into energetic entanglements with this energy, it did not lead me down the right path. And now you can use wisdom. This is where wisdom and discernment work hand in hand, and you start to put into play new events where now you are tapping into your magical power when you can start seeing clearly how those experiences from the past are trying to continually keep you in a loop that it can that malevolent spirits can keep feeding off of you. You can sit here and say, you know what, I choose to break out of this cycle, I choose to break out of this loop and create something new for myself. So the crow is letting you know that regardless of your memories, regardless of what you've gone through and what you've encountered, okay, it's not it's not something that you have to keep repeating. If anything, you're meant to break that cycle. And Crow is allowing you to see that clearly. And I feel like for Crow to come up, this could be a guardian, this could be a totem that you work with because crows are very, very clever beings. What else do we have for the collective? Archangel Uriel. Okay. So the next card that came out is Round Table. I feel like this is speaking to your guardians. Okay, those that you have communication with during this process of remastering your mind, right? You're not doing this alone. You're working in connection with, the archangels, your spirit guides, the ancestors for the highest good, right? Other deities, cosmic ancestors, right? Where it's not just your voice, they're allowing you to see, okay, guess what, this behavior is born out of trauma, right? That response is a response that was developed based off of triggers, right? And you developing certain coping mechanisms to protect yourself. And all of that is valid. But mind you, in the remastered mind, you are moving away from the old and you are entering the belly of the beast, okay? Because this is what was shown to me yesterday or last night. And mind you, when I say last night, this could be a couple days prior to me actively recording these videos because I record a couple at a time. But this is where you're going into the belly of the beast to now be reborn new, to conquer what has been trying to conquer you, and now you use it for your benefit. And I'm not saying that you use the parasite for your benefit. You use the lessons, right? The things that it tried to trap you with, right? The cycles that it tried to trap you in. You use that for your benefit, and now you start coming into your willpower because we have the moose. The moose can be very imposing, right? The moose, if the moose wants something out of its way, it's going to get um, it's going to get that object or that being out of its way. This is where you are saying, you know what, I need my energetic space, where I need my time alone, where I need to find my center within. And the moose is allowing you to find your center within. The moose is allowing itself to stay calm, cool, and collective in the midst of chaos. You are finding your peace, you are finding your serenity. Okay. And this is where now you get to discover which energies are actively yours, right? Or which energies belong to outside forces, malevolent spirits, or just spirits that want to be nosy, spirits that want to, get all up in your face, or, spirits that don't belong in your energetic field. You are now in a position where you are discovering what is truly yours in essence, what was born of trauma, what also is generational cycles and patterns that have to be broken. Let's see what else. What else, Archangel? Here we go. Okay. And this is where, okay, because the writer came out and the megaphone. And I feel like for the writer to come out, this is where you're working in tandem, right? Where you're sitting here saying, you know what? Divine, archangels, ancestors, spirit guides, guardians, I don't want my life to keep repeating the same cycles. And you're believing now that your life can change. And this is causing forward movement. Thank you, Archangel Uriel. It's causing forward movement in your life, unapologetically so. And in this forward movement, you're using your voice because you have the megaphone, right? So now I feel like this is where you're speaking up for yourself. You're no longer this beaten down child, right? That malevolent spirits were feeding off of. You're sitting here because you've listened to your team, you've worked with your team, you've come into your willpower, you've learned to spend time within yourself to become centered and balanced within. Now you can have forward movement into the life that you desire, into the life of, and I don't even want to sit here and say the life that you desired, because this message is specifically about a remastered mind. But a remastered mind will ultimately bring you to a new life experience because you become different. You no longer operate from the same, points. Okay, you don't longer operate from the same points of, what's the word I'm looking for? Expression, right? That you did before, which were born out of trauma, out of hurt, out of pain. You are allowing your voice to be honored within yourself. You are listening to your own voice. You are listening to your higher self. You are listening to the divine, the all that is all. And in this, you are able to cultivate soul family, soul tribe. This is what's happening with the remastered mind. And then you have like the man. I feel like this is speaking to, again, manifestation, right? A man is a leader. He's supposed to be the protector and the provider of the house. And as the protector and the leader of the house of your own life, right? You are now cultivating what goes into your environment. You are dictating what goes into your environment. You are saying, this is healthy for me. And confirmation. On top of that, we have the island. This is like solo, foreign affairs, standing alone, even being standoffish, because in the process of having a remastered mind, there are moments within yourself where you do become standoffish because you are observing people. You understand that your peace, the peace that you are working to cultivate, the balance that you are within, that you are actively engaging with and bringing into fruition in your life, not everyone has access to that balance within. Not everyone has access to your peace, to your inner world. And so now you are moving wiser, and this is going to be bringing solutions, okay? Because you have the key to your life, okay? The things that were problems, now you can sit here and say, you know what? Oh, someone that wants to talk to you, excuse me, I have something to do. And then something to do could be where you are standing in the mirror washing your face. It could be where you are staring at the ceiling and you are sitting with your thoughts. Okay? Become yourself so unapologetically, right? That your team is giving you the solutions, okay? They're giving you the downloads as to how to deal with circumstances that you felt you were obligated to deal with, right? With people just being in your energetic space, with people just feeling entitled to your thoughts, to your mind. They don't have access to that. So thank you, Archangel Uriel, for this message. I also want to sit here and say there's another card, uprooted, okay, underneath it, synchronistic. You are moving yourself in this remastered mind. You are conquering the mind to change yourself from one level of existence into another level of existence that is nourishing to you, okay, where you are receiving the nutrients. All right, this is the process of a remastered mind. Thank you so much for tapping into this message with me in spirit. Archangel Uriel, thank you. I tend to speak really, really fast, so I apologize if some of my words were being jumbled over each other. I have to learn to slow down, and I'm in that process. Thank you. Take care.